Welcome back to the Kearsarge Chronicle. I'm your host, Elizabeth Dabrowski. Joining me now from the Flying Goose Brew Pub and the Four Corners Grill is Brianna Mills and Russ Aney, CEO of Solar Lumix. Welcome to TKC.
Thank you for having us. We're happy to be here.
Brianna, why did the Flying Goose decide to install solar?
In our world today, my father, the owner, Tom, felt that it was important to explore renewable energy options. We originally researched a little bit with Colby Sawyer in a class that was involved there, and eventually started looking into some government incentives to see if it would be capable for us to do that right now.
What amount of time do you project to make back the cost you put into this?
We've projected the payback to be within 7 to 8 years. It depends on some of miscellaneous options that are happening, like the solar renewable energy certificates, which I think Russ will explain a little bit later.
What process did you go through in deciding on this particular product?
In deciding to install solar, we actually looked at a bunch of different projects. When we originally decided we were going to do something, we opened up the bidding to a lot of local companies, let them propose what was best for us. We ended up landing with what we landed with because it was the best technology. It has the best value over the lifetime of its system.
Up on this hill, is wind a possibility?
We considered doing wind for quite some time, actually. We did some preliminary testing, but in this valley we weren't really sure what would happen, and we'd have to have a really tall windmill, which would be an interesting addition to our view that we have already.
Do you plan to do something with the Millstone restaurant?
We've considered doing something to the Millstone. We just have less resources available there, less land availability, and the sun just isn't in the best location for that area.
Russ, what are the benefits of going solar?
Well, first of all, I think the Mills family decided to invest in solar because it made good business sense. It's actually a very attractive business investment for them right now. They earn a very attractive return on this over the life of the system. It actually lowers the cost of the electricity for them because they're actually going to be able to produce electricity more cheaply than they can buy it from PSNH. I think the second reason why it made good sense for the Mills family and the Flying Goose Brew Pub in particular is because the Flying Goose has made great efforts to practice sustainable business practices and to buy locally as much as possible. And this was in a perfect harmony with that practice, that part of their strategy as well. And it's paid off for them. This past year, they've actually received the Sustainable Business of the Year award from the New London Energy Committee. And they've been recognized as being a leader in the local business community in the pursuit of energy efficiency and renewable energy.
Do you do both commercial and homes?
Our company focuses on solar technologies, and we actually provide both solar hot water and solar electric systems to both residential and commercial customers.
What makes this site ideal for solar, and what do you look for in siting a solar installation?
The primary reason why solar made sense here was because of the tremendous solar resource that the Flying Goose has in its own backyard. They're able to harvest about 95% of the solar resource that could possibly hit this geographic area because they have very little shading. They have almost a perfect view to the south, and there's very little shading from the trees around us. So it's that great solar resource that made good sense here.
How would someone go about assessing the viability of solar in their home or business?
I would recommend calling on a solar professional to come out and do a solar resource assessment. And when they do that, they look at whether you have a roof pitch or an open space that has good visibility towards true south, towards solar south, if you will, and whether how much shading you have that might affect the solar that could potentially be harvested on either your rooftop or in the ground nearby your facility.
Russ, if someone in our audience would like to know more about solar and your company, how would they get in touch with you?
Well, we recommend that they go to our website, www.solarlumix.com, and that's spelled SOLARLUMIX.com. Or if they wanted to also learn more about solar, we're putting up a kiosk that's going to explain more about the solar technologies that we've installed here at the Flying Goose, and that's both solar hot water and solar electric. They can learn about those technologies, and there'll be a direct link from the kiosk that sends an inquiry off to Solar Lumix if they would like to learn more and sit down for a free appointment to discuss whether solar makes good sense for them.
Thank you, Russ and Brianna, and thank you very much for telling us about this exciting project.
Thank you.
It may be getting close to Christmas, but in your dreams, it's always summer when you think of the Lake Sunapee region. When we come back, Pam Perkins has another beautiful area home to show us. Stick around.